The funny goofs and laughs for the series being on a hiatus for the last 400,000 years, Hunter x Hunter Dark Continent arc and beyond could possibly be the greatest arcs of any anime or fiction ever. The topics I plan to cover in this video are as follows. How the reveal of the Dark Continent was amazing, the boundless depth and infinite potential of the Dark Continent, the Phantom Troop's role, Hisoka, Hanzo, and the climax of Kurapika's story. In my view, ending the anime with the Dark Continent reveal was perfect. After investing 144 episodes into world building, exploring conflicts, friendships, heartbreaks, and enjoying an acclaimed soundtrack, the impact was immense. Throughout this journey, we witnessed Golem's growth as a hunter, his losses, and pivotal arcs like York New, Heaven's Arena, and Greed Island. From the Oreo being told he has the most soothing heartbeat, and that he's better suited as a doctor or teacher, all that story and the entire history of humanity and Hunter x Hunter happened within the context of a lake, making everything before seem almost insignificant. But the feelings that arise when watching Hunter x Hunter in those 144 episodes were not. Still, it leaves in awe of what's to come. Exploring mysterious lands has been the curiosity of humans since antiquity. The thrill of being told that an area is unexplored is exciting on its own. What makes Hunter x Hunter exceptional is the build-up to such revelations. And the final major arc of the Hunter x Hunter anime, we encounter a formidable threat in the Chimera ants. Their unmatched strength is evident, starting from the weakest ants to the pinnacle of their hierarchy. Newly born Chimera ants can hold their own, build hunters with limited knowledge of Nen. The Royal Guard surpassed most Nen hunters with only few exceptions, and Miriam stands as the strongest character introduced so far. But you ask yourself as you're watching, man, those are some big ants. Ants are usually small. Man, ants look nasty when they are human-sized. And you might forget about it, but after the Dark Continent is revealed, and it's subsequently revealed that the Chimera ants come from it, and they tell you everything is gigantic over there, everything starts to make sense. It's a cool way to present the storyline. Chimera ants are only ranked as a level B threat, by the way, on the Dark Continent, which brings into perspective how dangerous the Dark Continent truly is. What makes me believe this arc could be so great, though, is the fact that so many things can happen. To begin with, the cast on the Black Whale is incredibly diverse, with different personalities, affiliations, and goals for being on the ship. This arc also introduces some really creative Nen skills. One of my favorites is Henrig's ability called Biohazard. He can turn any object he touches into a living creature, and these transformed creatures can still do what the object originally did, and he can still control them. The ability itself might not sound super creative, but the way Henrik uses it is. I'm not going to spoil it because you should read the manga. Giving a somewhat minor character like Henrik such an interesting ability just showcases Togashi's love of world building. Speaking of world building and bad segues, humanity is rumored to originate from the Dark Continent, which begs the question, are there still humans currently on the Dark Continent besides the ones we know about? And are there even maybe civilizations on the Dark Continent? We will have to wait and see, but only the perimeter of the Lake Mobius has ever been explored, so we really have no idea what to expect, and leaves Togashi with infinite possibility. In the current moment of the story, the Phantom Troop's reason for being on the voyage isn't known yet. I mean, it's kind of known, because before Shalnok turned into a corpse, he was on the phone with Krollo, who said that they wanted to board the Black Whale to steal the Kakin family's valuables. I just don't buy that being the only reason they want to board, and I'll explain it better later. But what I am sure of is that the showdown between Kurapika, the Phantom Troop, and Hisoka will climax in this arc. Maybe the Phantom Troop teams up as Saranich's bodyguard, and Hisoka and Kurapika meet up and work together because they have similar interests. A super interesting bit from the Phantom Troop backstory, the tattoo artist is one of Saranich's men, who was shown in the flashback as one of the kidnappers of Sarasa. So does the Phantom Troop know this? Is that why they're doing this? But I'm kind of a conspiracy theorist, and I don't personally believe that the spiders massacred the Kurta clan like the official narrative states. It's kind of hard to have any concrete proof for this theory, but it just doesn't make sense to me. I know they are bad people, but why show the gut-wrenching backstory during the arc, which will most likely be the climax of the Kurapika x Phantom Troop storyline, if they just murdered the Kurta clan for money? And the strange coincidence that one of Tsaranich's henchmen was one of the kidnappers and has the video of Sarasa, it's all too fishy to me. I'm usually right about these things. This video will be vindicated in 40 years when the next chapter comes out. I promise. The backstory of the spiders, coupled with the one-shot of Kurapika's story, leads me to believe that something has been unfolding under our nose, and we are in for a huge plot twist. But I think that deserves a whole video in itself, so let me know if I should cover that. Hisoka's reveal on the voyage was amazing. It's the first time we see him with his hair down and without any clown makeup. The setup was clever, with the Phantom Troop searching everywhere for him, even with the help of the GU family. This makes you think he's hiding or trying to disguise himself, but no, not even close. He's towering over everyone, completely out in the open, as if saying, I don't care that you're looking for me. Time will tell, but I can see Kurapika and Ahsoka teaming up against the spiders and Tesseract, or at least they will thrive off one another. Maybe the spiders will be so focused on Ahsoka that Kurapika will have a field day with them. And then they go into damage control or something like that, and that's when Ahsoka will strike. I can't tell if the spiders, Ahsoka, or Kurapika's respective storylines will end before they return from the Dark Continent. That's what makes this and the subsequent arcs so compelling. You really have no idea who is and isn't going to make it back. The most unfortunate aspect is that the characters like Crollo, Ahsoka, and Kurapika, who are exceptionally well written, will tear the community apart when any of them die. And it's completely realistic to believe that they all might. With how complicated and text-heavy the Succession arc is, a lot of people forget about a lot of important stuff. One of those being that Illumi is on the voyage and was contracted to kill Ahsoka by Ahsoka. He introduces himself as the newest members of the Spiders to the Phantom Troop, and they begin searching for the magician. Theories are going around that Illumi is going to betray the troop, and this is all a part of Ahsoka's plan, but nothing is confirmed yet. I doubt Illumi will betray the spiders for the sole reason that it would make the spiders look very stupid, and I doubt Togashi would want that. Illumi x Ahsoka's friendship is known by the troop before he joins. So them being betrayed by Ahsoka and then accepting one of the friends of the person who betrayed them and killed half the troop would just be bad writing. Crollo has some reason to trust Illumi that hasn't been mentioned yet. It could be something very complex, like a tied history together, or it can even go deeper with theories that Illumi is working for one of the princes, and that is the sole reason he got the Hunter license in the first place. He mentions during the anime that he got the license for an upcoming job, and it's already stated that to go to the Dark Continent you need 4 things: permission, qualifications, the means, and a contract. So maybe Illumi has a contract with one of the princes, since the princes have known about the voyage and Succession War for a while. It's not too crazy to believe that they would do everything in their power to win and employ the most famous assassins in the world. This could also mean that Silva and Zeno are aboard the ship as well, and we just haven't seen them yet, which would make sense, seeing how the Zoldyck family has a history of going to the Dark Continent. In the introduction of the Hunter exam first phase, when we were being told about Tampa and his antics, Tampa talks about this year's rookies being on a different level. It flashbacks to Hanzo talking to Tampa, and he says this, quote, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm actually a ninja. I want a license so I can hunt the elusive Hermit's Scroll. Rumor is, it's in a country barred to commoners." End quote. A country barred to commoners. Doesn't that sound a lot like the Dark Continent? I believe Hanzo is going to play a crucial role in this and the subsequent coming arcs, and might even have a decent amount of screen time. On the Black Whale, he's recruited by Kurapika to act as a bodyguard for any of the Kakin princes to get information on Tesseract. Not believing that Tesseract himself would employ him, Hanzo joins Prince Momo's squad at the request of Queen Savante. I'm not going to even try that. Hanzo and most of the other bodyguards are ordered to protect Momazin's younger brother, Mariam. Later, Hanzo and Biscuit notice that Mariam's guardian spirit beast has gotten larger. After Prince Momazone's sudden death by one of her bodyguards, a furious Hanzo blames himself for not being able to save her. He believes the murderer might strike again and deduces that he is one of the 2 bodyguards taking a break. He swears to Biscuit that he would make the murderer pay for killing Mimosa. Hanzo is showcased a lot in this arc, and he works along with Biscuit and Kurapika, which leads me to believe that he's going to be a part of the main cast when they actually arrive at the Dark Continent. The Hermit Scroll will play a huge role in the Dark Continent. Where else could be a better place to showcase it?